audacious entrepreneurs. I know it's been a really long time since I've made a video. I think actually since the pandemic really got underway. So it's been almost a year, oh my God. So I'm starting a new series called Becoming an Expat Entrepreneur. For those of you that don't know, I'm moving to Berlin. And soon, we leave in 5 days. We actually leave on Inauguration Day. So how did this all transpire? I had recently moved to Los Angeles before the pandemic started, and I didn't want to be living in a new city alone without my partner, and where it's very expensive, but I'm not able to reap any of the benefits throughout something so big as a pandemic. And so I decided to return to Michigan, to the icy north, to kind of just wait it out, because these are the moments in history where we need to come together and be with loved ones. And so that's what I did. And we kind of regrouped over that time period and realized, maybe it's time to leave the United States. We both have wanted to for a long time. And it seems like it could be good timing. And turns out it was. The way that everything has panned out with the job and some of the other things going on in the country, it just really has made it very clear that we made the right decision. Why Berlin? We chose Berlin because it is one of the tech centers of Europe, especially after Brexit now. So London is a tech rival to Berlin, but Berlin is basically the San Francisco of the European Union. And so that's really good for me as an entrepreneur, and that's really good for my partner who's in tech. And so we're both really excited about that. Berlin is also really affordable. And so it's a good place to land, to start a new life, especially, it's expensive to immigrate. And finally, so Germany is unique in that companies don't have to sponsor you in order to get a job. So that makes it a lot easier, again, to immigrate to Germany. So some of you may be thinking, though, like, well, what about Croatia? Because I thought you've been talking about Croatia all these years, and that's true. And quick update on that, I am waiting to hear back on my application for citizenship through my genealogy. I'm really excited about that, but it's going to take some time, especially because of the pandemic. So just big fingers crossed, and stay tuned, because hopefully we'll be doing some amazing entrepreneur retreats to scale your business in Croatia this year. We'll see. Anyway, these videos are going to be about the ins and outs of life in Berlin, and what's it like to be an expat entrepreneur? How does one become an expat entrepreneur? I've worked for a decade in order to get to this point, because I knew I wanted to be location independent and able to move abroad if I wanted to. And, well, I do want to. So right now, in a week, the week before our leaving, we've got our visas. We have extra paperwork. So you want to bring things with you, like your official copy of your birth certificate, copies of your passport, copies of your ID. The United States has a understanding with Germany, so we don't have to get international driver's licenses yet, and we don't plan to have cars anyway, at least not for a while. So that's one thing that we didn't have to do we might have had to do for other countries. We also had to get travel health care, so that we have kind of like a bridge in our health care before the public health care kicks in. And so we will both be on public health care once we're settled in Germany, but for the first 3 months you have to have documentation of travel health care. And luckily one of my friends' dads actually has a travel health agency. I don't know how to put that. So it's been very easy to work with them. And yeah, so a lot of my life is in boxes. What's behind me, you can't really tell. It's funny, like this is like the cutest part of my apartment right now. But like there's suitcases down here, a pile of stuff I'm selling over here, a pile of stuff that's going into storage and like is like the second wave of my like belongings that are meant to come to Germany. The first box, and so interesting kind of idea. We decided not to use luggage to check. I'm actually selling my luggage. We decided to just use boxes because cardboard boxes still can be checked on an airplane, no problem, but they're less heavy, and the weight matters significantly in this situation. We're probably both going to be overweight on our boxes, and I was hoping to only bring 2 boxes. I have over here like my carry-on that I'm working to build. Side note, travel cubes are life. I highly recommend them. So for those of you curious, like what's going to happen to my business with this big move, not a whole lot, on purpose. I built something that could go anywhere. So I already have clients all around the world. Some people have asked me like, oh, what happened to your American clients? And I'm like, well, what happened with my Australian clients or my UK clients or my Greek clients? Like they're already all around the world and already spread across different time zones. I actually only have 1 client in Michigan right now. And that's been something too that it's just really evolved. So it used to be that most of my clients were local to me just because that's where my network was. But as I've moved and worked towards this, my clientele has also expanded. But regardless, I intentionally moved all my clients to Zoom meetings before the pandemic. So there was even no change in my business for the pandemic really, besides just creating programs that were more supportive and priced differently because of the uncertainty. But other than that, like I intentionally built something that is mobile and movable and easy. So the only thing that's really going to change for me being in Europe is that I'm working in the later in the day rather than early, because I want to try to keep I want to kind of straddle the time zones basically. So I want to make sure that I'm still able to serve my West Coast clients and have them be able to hop on calls with me during business hours, but I don't want to be up super late at night. I'm actually looking forward to having a shifted time schedule because I want time to write, and I actually one of my like hobbies, New Year's resolutions, is to work more on my music. I haven't worked on my music in so long, and I started producing one of my songs over the holiday break. It just felt really good, and so just so to add diversity to my life, so that when somebody says, "Oh, what are your hobbies?" I can say I have a hobby. I also took up macrame recently, so I actually do have hobbies now. I think those are the kind of like major things that are going on now in the lead up to our leave. I'm probably not going to have time to make another one of these videos until we actually arrive. So I think next time you see me, I'm gonna be in Berlin. I can't wait to tell you all about it and tell you more about what it's like to transition a business overseas. What's it like to learn another culture and language in business, and keeping in touch with people who I love, because I am very socially and community motivated, and so that I think is the hardest thing for me, because I'm an anthropologist. Culture, language, I've got it, no worries, but I really love people, and that's been the hardest part for me actually during the pandemic too, is not seeing people, not being able to host friends over for dinner and games and movies, and it's been hard on us all in so many different ways. And as many people as there are on this planet, it has been hard in just as many ways. Anyway, enough about the pandemic. I look forward to sharing more about becoming an expat entrepreneur with you. If you have any specific questions, you're curious about different aspects of this transition, or even if you just like are digging this, do let me know in the comments. I know that that's like so cliche. Comment here, smash the like button. I do want to answer your questions and tell you all about this adventure. So if you do actually have questions or comments or ideas, I would love to hear it, truly. See y'all in Berlin. Oh my God, I forgot to say that I actually had to unpack to even make this video.